Welcome to the interview.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How about yourself?
I'm good, thanks.
So I have several questions I'd like to ask you, but I'd also like to just start off first by inviting you to tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a graduating senior in Lincoln University studying in psychology. I plan on furthering my psychology degree to get my master's at SLU here in St. Louis,
All right.
and that's about it.
Okay. And what part of psychology do you want to get a master's degree in?
I'm really aiming towards the experimental part.
Uh-huh.
One of my teachers gave me an assignment for it was an experiment that they did with kids about marshmallows, and it was
All right.
so intriguing. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think this is something I want to do.
That's great. Yeah, that's like a delayed gratification thing.
Yeah,
That's a fun experiment to watch too. I like that.
yeah, it was.
Great. Okay, so I want to ask you some questions. Can you tell me what would you say is your greatest strength?
I would say that my greatest strength is I catch on to things quickly.
Huh?
I'm a quick learner, very quick learner. Um, I feel like if you give me something and you just give me a little demonstration or just tell me how to do it, I'm gonna have it right off the back, like that quick.
Can you give me an example where that's happened in either school life or in your work life?
I would say in my work life, I worked for Riley Toyota.
Huh?
We had to do like a customer care thing. We had like a sheet we had to go by, and it
Mhm.
was like we had to put it into our own words and like just make it flow.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as he gave it to me, I put my spin on it, and I was there.
All right. That's great. No, that sounds really good. Can you tell me a little bit about that job and what that was like for you? Just-
That job was like really life changing for me. It
Huh.
doesn't seem like it was a car sales place,
Uh-huh.
but the boss that I had, he really impacted my life. He taught me so much about like the business and
Yeah.
like being a customer care representative and like just being a good person in the job. Like it
Uh-huh.
was moving.
Wow. So it sounds like you were really impressed with him as a supervisor.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, if I were to call him, what would he tell me about you?
He would say that I was really sweet, open to learn new things. I was a hard worker. I picked up tasks that others wouldn't, and I was like a team leader.
Okay. I'm sorry. Just a bit of feedback. I don't know if it's my internet or your internet, but you were talking, but your lips weren't moving the entire time. So I think it froze a little bit. So
It's probably this. I don't know what's going on.
okay, because I'm right
But
next to my Wi-Fi. What's that?
okay. I'm off. I'm not even on Wi-Fi, so it just might be my phone, the connection.
Okay, is
Just
there a place in the house where you might have a little better connection?
I'm not sure. Let me try.
Sorry, I'm not asking you to like give us a tour of your house.
It's okay. Okay, is it working better over here?
You're moving more fluidly. It's still a little frozen here and there, but I think it's better. I mean, yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. All right. So sorry about that. So is it okay to move on? I kind of lost track of my own.
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay. Let's see. I was asking you like what would that supervisor say about you?
He would say that I was a very sweet person, very outgoing, and I was willing to learn new things. And I would be the first one that he'd pick to like run a team or take on a task.
Oh, that's great. That's I mean, because we work on teams here at this agency, so and we have like treatment team meetings on a regular basis, and so being able to like share your opinions and input is really important for us. So that's good to hear. Let's see. Let's see. Let's if you were gonna if you let's say you ended up being angry about an unfair decision
Mhm.
was made in an agency, how would you react?
Um, if I was upset about something, I would go to someone in charge and
Mhm.
speak to them about it. And if it came to be like what was best for the facility or whatever, or I would just, have to go along with it because it's not up to me. It's above me. So I would just have to act accordingly.
So trying to get it resolved.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Let's see. Can you tell me what you would classify as a crisis?
A crisis. I would classify a crisis as something that can't get resolved, like that doesn't have a fixing to it, like something that's out of my control.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when you're faced with a crisis, or if you've ever had to face a crisis, again, if you kind of with that definition, it just by definition, not being solvable, what do you think is the best way to respond?
The best way to respond is try to make sure that everyone in the situation is, I don't know, calm, I guess, and try to like just keep everything together as good as you can with whatever's going on around you.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, really, I mean, I think chaos, when there's a crisis, there's often chaos. And so, I mean, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Being able to keep people breathing and focused is,
yeah.
And we don't have too many crises like that around here. Occasionally we'll have some difficulties, but you'll see. Can you tell me why would you want a job here as a counselor?
Because I would rather be in a private practice with a more intimate group of people. I feel like when it's a smaller practice, like people are more likely to be like more of a family, and I love that type of environment. So yeah. I think that's the best way.
It's both professional and very personal here, so it's a good combination, I think. Let's see. Have you ever had an opportunity to mentor someone else or to kind of like train someone else?
I have not had an opportunity to be a mentor, but I've trained people like at work. Like once I learn something and a new person comes in, I was working at Sam's Club one time, and a new person came. I took her under my wing, let her see how everything worked, taught her all that, and that was that.
Oh, so yeah, that's definitely mentoring. That's great. Okay, and how'd that relationship work out?
Oh, it worked great. We're still communicating to this day.
Oh, cool.
And she learned a lot, and she did great at her job.
All right, good to hear. What would you say would be the most creative thing you did while you were in your undergraduate career?
School-wise, or just while I was in undergraduate?
It's wide open, whatever you want to pick.
I think the most creative thing I did was when I was working at Raleigh Toyota. We had a sale, like a event thing that I put together. Like I made the flyers, I sent out the stuff to the people, and I went to go get the cards and all of that. Like it was just like a real big thing for me because I've never done
an event. Yeah, you sponsored an event. Yeah.
Yeah, I sponsored an event. Yeah.
How did it turn out?
It turned out good. We had a great outcome. A lot of people came. My idea was for like more people to come. We lured them in with a gift card with some money on it. So I was like, yeah, I'm glad I did that. So we got a great outcome.
That works. That's good. All right. Can you tell me, let's see, I know you're going to, you're applying or been admitted to graduate school in experimental. Besides schoolwork, are there other things that you do to try to keep yourself up on things in terms of psychology?
I do a lot of research online, anything. Like I look at a lot of TED Talks and I just research anything, like whatever comes to mind. And I feel like that's very helpful to just read up on different things.
Great. Can you give me an example of a TED Talk that you really liked?
For instance, the marshmallow. The marshmallow. That was like, oh my God, okay, yeah, I love it.
Okay, yeah, no, it's a classic. That's good. Let's see. Can you tell me how you handle disagreement with other people?
I handle disagreement by looking at both sides. I'm always open to someone else's opinion. I don't shoot them down for what they believe. I always can agree to disagree. Like, I'm not going to force my side on anyone, or I'm not going to just accept anyone else's, but I'll definitely view both points.
Well, that's in some ways very much the nature of counseling, so that's good. I mean, you have to be able to see all sides. Let's see. Can you tell me how you handle pressure?
I handle pressure greatly because I usually work under pressure my best. Because, like, if I have an assignment that's due at 11:59, I usually just start at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
I feel like when it's crunch time, I do my best because I know that it's due now and it's time.
Okay. All right. So you don't mind it at all?
No, I do not mind pressure.
Okay. All right. That's good. Now here's a question you may have heard before. What type of people seem to rub you the wrong way?
People, unfair people.
Mm-hmm.
Unfair people rub me the wrong way because it's just like you can't just be an unfair person. You have to like be willing to come to an agreement with others, or like just treat them fairly, treat them equally. Like,
Yeah. So being able to, well, in some ways, see both sides, like you were describing earlier, when you have a disagreement. So, I mean, that allows for fair treatment. Okay. Let's see. I have another question over here. Can you tell me, just in your own words, why should I hire you?
I believe that you should hire me because I would be a great fit to your facility. I feel like that I can do a lot with the people. I can definitely make a difference
Oh, all right. Okay.
with people's lives. Like, I'd be a
Well,
great fit.
and I mean, we have a lot of clients that need help. So,
Yeah.
okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm flipping over to some of these other examples here. Can you tell me how you minimize stress in your own life?
I minimize stress by exercising, running, taking on different hobbies.
Mhm.
My favorite hobby is actually I make wigs. I feel like
Right.
it's something that I like to do.
Yeah.
So it just takes my mind off anything negative going on. I just sit there and create.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Do you end up selling them or give them away?
I
Or?
haven't found any yet. I usually just make them for myself and my friends.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
starting. It's just something I do for fun. One
Oh,
day
that's
I
great.
might.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I mean, if you got hobbies like that can help alleviate stress, that's ideal, especially at times like these right now.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
probably a good thing. Let's see. Can you tell me what you consider to be your biggest weakness?
My biggest weakness, I would say, is that I'm a perfectionist.
Mhm.
That can really be a downside because I doubt myself a lot. But also with being a perfectionist, it's kind of good because you just make sure your work is great. You make sure everything you put forth is like acceptable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is kind of the overall goal of the perfectionist is like try to
Mhm.
be as strong as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And let me see here. Okay. Trying to get another question here. Um, um, can you tell me what motivates you?
My family. My family motivate me every day. Like, they just push me to be great, graduate, and they also give me the support that I need to get there. So
Oh, that's
those
exciting.
are my biggest
All
motivators.
right.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you have that. That's great. I mean, social support is everything, especially again right now. So,
Yes.
so we're almost at the 15-minute mark, but I'd like to open it up for any questions you might have for me.
Okay, yes. What tips would you give someone opening their own firm or starting their own firm?
That's a great question. Even asking me, I mean, getting mentorship, trying to find people who've done it before and where their obstacles were, where their hurdles were, what they didn't anticipate, and then were surprised by. So
Mhm.
we get input from, and I did that myself in starting my own agency. It's like I reached out to several people I knew who were counselors, like, where did you have problems at first? Where was it difficult? And over again, like the whole insurance part was a big part. So I learned a lot from them about that.
Um,
And I mean, we have people handling billing here now. So, you could learn from them too, eventually, if you want to start off in your own private practice, how to do that.
Mhm.
Do you have any other questions?
When will I be expecting to hear back from you all?
So we're doing interviews all this week, and so probably after next week, probably mid to late next week would be good.
Okay, well, that's all
All
my
right,
questions.
it was very nice to meet you. I'm going to stop recording, and then I'm going to talk to you after the recording ends.
Okay.